Since 1893, the International Association of Chiefs of Police has been shaping the future of the policing profession. As more than 17,000 public safety professionals meet in Massachusetts for the Annual Conference and Exposition, IACP TV is bringing you the very best from Boston. Whether it's an executive search or a survey of the management practices within your agency, we dive into the IACP's suite of professional services.
But the biggest question I think that we try to help answer is, how do I find the best people possible to rise to the top for this job?
And have you heard of Elevate Blue?
The IACP in 2024 formally launched Elevate Blue, a virtual no-cost training suite for law enforcement.
And our film series tour takes an international detour today as we highlight some of the departments that are neighbours to our north. Those plus more of the American agencies setting the standard when it comes to community policing. Whether here in the convention centre or at your fingertips, there are plenty of ways for you to watch. Find the latest episode on the in-house channel at our partner hotels, on the IACP meeting website, and on all of our social media channels, so make sure you like and subscribe to get all IACP related content.
Hey Stephen, I caught a sweet ride here today. We kick things off today talking policy, and the IACP Policy Center has been identifying leading practices and providing sound guidance to the policing profession for more than 30 years.
Now, this is to assist individual departments in developing their own best policies. Let's hear now all about the different resources the Policy Center offers.
The IACP Policy Center's mission is to leverage the reach of the IACP to identify practices and provide sound guidance to police leaders in an effort to help them develop their policies. Topics are selected based on the needs of the field as well as in alignment with the IACP's member-driven strategic framework. So that may include identifying a newly emerging topic, police use of artificial intelligence, for example, or revising a topic that has become outdated. We focus on 4 main deliverables. So we have a model policy, so that provides concrete guidance in sequential format that officers should rely on for their procedures. We also have a considerations document, so that's offered as an alternative to the bright line directives that you'll find in a model policy. So the considerations document understands that each department may have different resources, constraints, and abilities. So what our goal is with that is that we outline items that agencies should take into consideration and provide different language and information there. We also have a concepts and issues paper that documents to provide the how and why and kind of answer those questions for the information that we outline in our model policy or considerations document. And then finally, we have a need to know, and that's just a brief 1-page summary, and it summarizes the information that we provide through our guidance. So access to the IACP Policy Center is provided as part of your member benefit. So members are able to go and access the Policy Center through our website at IACP.org. One of the values that we provide is that we're giving police leaders and their executives some place to start. So whether it's an update or a newly emerged topic, we've gone through and we've conducted our research, and then we're able to use consensus on best practices to give them somewhere to start instead of starting on a blank page.
My name is Troy Price. I'm the Chief of Police for the Vancouver Police Department. Our city is undergoing some phenomenal growth right now, but that's a good thing because the city grows, we're growing, and it means a lot to our community.
We're going to need a lot more police officers and police officers who are already working with us. There's a lot of movement and opportunities to either promote or get into specialty units.
We have our crime reduction team, domestic violence prosecution center. We have the Elder Justice Center. We have the Children's Justice Center. We have our major crimes unit, our special investigations unit, our neighborhood response teams. The list goes on and on. There are just numerous opportunities to serve. It's an exciting time to be here.
I love my job. Every day it's something new.
Just being in that patrol car, driving to a call, and just knowing that I'm gonna help somebody out at the end of the day, which is amazing, an amazing experience. So I love.
Just from using the Flock system as well as our retail theft emphasis, stolen vehicles are down 67%, our homicides are down 50%, robberies are down 22%. We've seen decrease after decrease.
We work in cooperation with our retailers. We set up officers inside the stores with their surveillance systems, along with outside undercover and marked units, and we monitor the shoplifts as they take place, and then we arrest on site as they exit the stores.
Flock Safety is a license plate reader system. We have seen a notable decrease in the number of vehicles stolen in the city of Lakewood, and at the same time seen an increase in the number of vehicles that we are recovering.
We want to implement more technology within our department to make sure that we are always being on the innovative side, addressing crime when it happens.
From executive searches to testing and assessment centres, the IACP has a knowledgeable core staff and distinguished subject matter experts ready to provide custom technical assistance for your agency. Matt Langer and Megan Casanova are here in the studio with more on how they can help your department. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So give us a little bit of an overview on what those professional services are.
Sure. So professional services includes agency assessments, executive searches, and promotional testing, and we offer a wide variety of services within that.
So talking about agency surveys, why would somebody want to do an agency survey?
So a lot of times agencies have questions that they need answered, and so IACP can come in and give you a data-based answer to your question and really help you be a more effective, efficient department.
Yeah, exactly what Megan said. So sometimes an agency or a police service is wrestling with a problem, and they want an outside objective perspective to come in and help solve that problem. So it really doesn't matter to us what that issue is. Right. We're confident that we can find the right people to go after the objective analysis to figure out what's going on and provide potential solutions.
So one of the other services you offer is executive search. Mm-hmm. Now, executive search is often carried out by the city administration, isn't it? So what's the advantage to having the IACP do that?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. So anyone can do it by themselves, I suppose, but we like to think that we can provide tremendous value. So what does that value look like? It's us finding subject matter experts that can help address what the issues are, what the key characteristics are of that next police leader in that community. And so when a city or a county or a state hires us to do some work, we dig in right away. Megan and her team dig in right away to figure out what is it that you're looking for so that we can address that by looking at the talent pool. And we have 34,000 members worldwide, so our talent pool that we can draw from is really vast.
And you're the experts in this field, right? You know what a future leader in policing looks like.
Well, we're humble, but I do think we're the best, and we believe in what we do. So yeah, we're thrilled every time that we can try to help place the next police leader, whether it's a police agency with 3 officers or 3,000.
So talk to me about promotional testing.
Sure. So within promotional testing, we actually offer both stock and custom exams. So we can come in and really provide whatever level of professional development and professional evaluation that you're looking for. In addition to the exams, we also offer assessment centers, which is another way to evaluate different dimensions of your future leaders within your department.
How tough is it for police agencies to figure out how to promote people?
Well, you have to do it the right way. And so, these are environments where that you can create some liability if you're not doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. But the biggest question I think that we try to help answer is how do I find the best people possible to rise to the top for this job? And so we work really hard to make sure that the best candidates to be successful in that position are the ones that are able to rise through that process.
Thank you both so much indeed for joining us. That was so interesting, so thank you.
Thank you.
I am honored to lead what is considered the oldest police department in the nation. I think we're an exciting department that's heading in a positive direction. Our vision for the city is to make this the safest, cleanest, greenest city in America. I'm proud of a workforce that, despite some of the issues that have occurred over the last 4 years, their resiliency and their ability to bounce back and their desire to continue to work. My vision for the department to be the best is to take the community partnership, making sure that we're a diverse and equitable organization, have officers who feel good about the job to come to do the work. I think if we continue our goal of really integrating all the key elements to make this a successful organization that we've talked about, then we will create that organization that will continue to be successful and drive us into the future to be the best police department in the nation.
Crime prevention in the city of Scranton is based on its community support. Without the people being comfortable enough to inform us of what's happening in their neighborhoods, we can't do anything about it.
Because of Scranton's geographical location, we have great economic growth prospects. We also have a complicated law enforcement landscape. Just 100 miles from New York City, we're not very far from Philadelphia, from even Baltimore.
The interagency collaborations are just as important for the City of Scranton Police Department as it is the support of our community. What we have met is the challenges of the 21st century. Opioid crisis, we have homelessness, and we have mental health crisis that has changed the way officers are trained and the extra tasking that they have once they hit the streets. Our officers have rose to the occasion, and they're doing very well in this environment.
And now to another way that the IACP is helping you boost your career. This past year, the IACP officially launched Elevate Blue. It's a virtual, no-cost training suite for law enforcement on contemporary training topics. Domingo Jerez explains how Elevate Blue can elevate you.
The IACP in 2024 formally launched Elevate Blue, a virtual no-cost training suite for law enforcement on contemporary training topics. Elevate Blue broadened important training opportunities for law enforcement, championed promising practices, and incorporated research and evidence-based approaches. Elevate Blue offers law enforcement the flexibility to participate in training on demand and with the limits of their schedule at no cost on any device at any time. It was developed in partnership with the U.S. Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance, and includes stakeholders like the Fraternal Order of Police, the International Association of Campus Law Enforcement Administrators, the International Association of Directors of Law Enforcement Standards and Training, the National Association of Women Law Enforcement Executives, the National District Attorneys Association, and the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Initial courses of Elevate Blue include managing mass demonstrations and protecting civil liberties, resilience across dimensions, officer health and prosperity, leadership management and supervision. The future courses will also include community engagement and trust, effective violent crime reduction strategies, recruitment, hiring, training, and retention.
The Vermont State Police were known as some of the most professional law enforcement officers in the country. We pride ourselves on our professionalism. Our uniforms are on point. When we show up, we're the good guys, but we mean business.
We are one of the few, if not the only state, that has embedded workers within their state police across the entire state.
We started with their health and well-being when they first enter the state police, their mentorship as they go through our academy, and then we continue some sort of mentorship element and check in throughout their entire career.
The VIC was building out the ArcGIS mapping program to help figure out the whys in our communities. Why are individuals committing crimes? Where are they committing crimes? And how to prevent.
Our number one goal is public service and public safety. This is a very serious profession, and our members are proud to wear the uniform.
The Caldwell Police Department's history and mission and vision and values here are deep-rooted with a Western tradition and culture. We serve a community that's about 80,000 people. We're the 4th largest city in the entire state and the 14th fastest growing city in the United States of America. So the way we fight crime here in Caldwell is re-legitimizing the police department and leveraging technology to surgically remove the bad actors from our community and hold them accountable by maintaining the best positive relationships with our community and really honing in on precision policing.
We provide them with a mission, we provide them with our expectations, we provide them with direction, we let them know what we are going to be doing and why we are going to be doing it.
I love the police department here. One thing I love the most is our community. Our community is great. They really support the police.
The future for the Caldwell Police Department looks extremely bright. We have a extremely supportive council and mayor, a very vibrant community that really trusts its police department to protect and serve, and we're super proud of the men and women that work here that make this place magical.
On May 24th, 2022, an active shooter took the lives of 19 children and 2 staff members at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. At the request of Uvalde leadership, the U.S. Department of Justice established the Critical Incident Review to conduct an independent, objective assessment of what happened, what went wrong, and assess lessons learned. Here now are those findings.
We were talking about the active shooter response at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. The U.S. Department of Justice Cops Office conducted an after-action report after the tragedy that occurred there, where 19 children were killed and 2 teachers. So we were discussing specifically leadership, incident command, communications, and tactics and equipment, which are all part of our report that we released in January of this year. So there were a lot of findings in the report. The report has over 140 observations, which are similar to findings. What we found, though, is main piece is that there are cascading failures that led to the incident. So this was cascading failures in pre-incident and planning, as well as a response to the active shooter response and post-incident. One of the biggest ones in our report is that we are recommending that law enforcement agencies do 8 hours of training a year on active shooter response. But it's not just 8 hours of training on a PowerPoint. It is 8 hours scenario-based, stress-induced training to really prepare our officers for these really difficult situations.
Those officers that first responded to the school acted with great courage. They didn't hesitate. There was no hesitation. They went right through that hallway, right to the classroom. They stopped the classroom for a moment until shots rang out, and then they went back. It was thereafter where communication started settling in terms of let's negotiate, the words barricaded subject may have been uttered out, and those things stalled the forward momentum. And we've learned through this critical incident that once you stop that forward momentum, that courage for the officers to go through that deadly funnel, the funnel of death, if you will, in that door, starts to be second guessed. In this particular case, they had the advantageous position of having 11 officers within 3 minutes flood that hallway. All their sensors were activated, so there's no guessing as to what's happening here. There's smoke in the air, there's a smell of gunpowder, there's a noise of a rifle round going off. Had the officers made entry at that moment in time, lives would have been saved. And that's the moment in time where leadership matters. That's a difficult pill to swallow, but all evidence, all information that we've gathered, all witness statements, video, audio, on-scene assessments, and indicates to us that there was no hesitation in terms of the initial response, but then it stops. And it's that moment in time where bold leadership needs to kick in to say, it's your job. You took an oath of office. You swore to uphold the Constitution. Their number one job is not to catch burglars and robbers or traffic violators. Their number one job is to protect the constitutional rights of all of our citizens. In this particular case, those kids were begging for peace and tranquility. And those officers, unfortunately, did not enter that classroom to uphold the oath of office that they all took, including the chief of police. And I take that wholeheartedly because oftentimes we talk about the great courage that officers show across the country. And 99.9% of the time, officers do a great job. It's this one fraction of a percent that the officers failed that highlights the importance of what officers do, and more importantly, the courage that a chief has to have to make sure that the pre-planning and preparation is done way before. What should be done is to make sure that officers have the equipment, then the training, right? And then the focus, a mission focus is really important, what to do, and then the leadership to support that. I think chiefs of police have to be willing to put their jobs on the line to ensure that they have all of those available to them.
Now to the exhibit hall floor to talk with attendees. We set out to hear why this annual conference is so important to members and what moments from past conferences still stand out.
I'm a former police officer, and so one of the best experiences I've had at IACP is actually running into officers that I used to police with. It's been years, 10, 12 years for some of them, and to get to see them, run into them, my old chief, I've run into him, And so it's great. I love seeing everybody again.
A lot of times, being from a smaller department, we don't get the rep visits for some of the stuff, and just coming and seeing some of the new stuff and new technology and just seeing what we can do to better our job, make our job easier.
You know, the training's good, but the networking is really good. So we get to meet chiefs and talk to chiefs from all over the country, similar sizes, bigger sizes, and so we kind of work off each other and learn from each other.
I think this is good for our city, to let people know that the city of Boston is a nice place to come visit. For the most part, they just walk up to us and say thank you, which is enough for us, right? And just seeing that they're here. And I know this is just like a weekend thing or 5 days, but there's a lot more to do in this time frame, right? So come back. Our doors are always open. We have great hospitality. We have a lot of people who want to get involved and show you around the city.
When it comes to combating crime, it really is a global village. We head over now to the International Officers event to find out firsthand from our global partners why international collaboration is key.
We as leaders of the police, we have to share our experience when we meet, and also we create a network, because sometimes when we have daily problems or challenges, we can contact somebody, some friends, and use their experience in order to solve the problems. And in our days and in the future, criminals are working very, very well together. So they go beyond the borders. So we as a police, the officers and the directors, we need to create a network that also goes beyond the borders in order to find challenges and criminals. So we get a lot of contacts, but also a lot of lessons from the sessions that they are dealing, especially for the future challenges, new technologies, using our data analysts, drones and anti-drones.
You know, it's so important because so often we're dealing with the same things. When we think about crime as it relates to poverty, marginalization, homelessness, these types of things, there are situations that are experienced throughout North America. And from the Canadian perspective, it's so important for us to be able to see what others are doing and develop and identify best practices so we can modify what we're doing and share our successes too across the globe. And so that's what happens here.
International collaboration is the key for the success of combating transnational crime. Attending this conference makes me able to see our friends from other countries, from the US as well. It is time for us to express our idea, to exchange our idea, and to learn from each other. And thanks to IACP for allowing us to meet each other and to make a stronger collaboration.
We here at Peel have an aspirational statement to be the most progressive, innovative, inclusive police agency. Particularly in our region, we are really challenged with a tremendous amount of urban-related issues. So we are required here to find new ways to do things that are better for the community and better for us.
Here at Peel Regional Police is we identify our business needs, how we service the community with other organizations, and then look to complement that with the technology and the data that we require to meet our goals, specifically in the areas of human-centered policing, community safety and well-being.
Having this data and leveraging it now to give our officers the options of the pathways for support, it's a better outcome for the community. It's providing the right services to the right people at the right time.
What it is a specialized team of officers with social workers that are responding to non-criminal, non-high-risk calls for service and making immediate referrals to social service agencies. Community safety well-being is part of the fabric you see every day as you do your work for the sake of serving the community better.
Our vision here at the London Police Service is to be a leader in community safety. And our leaders understand how important it is to be in the community and why it's important to be seen. So putting the community at the heart of everything that we do from a strategic level, from a leadership level, allows us to make decisions based on what is best for this community.
We attend functions through small groups, religious groups, ethnic communities, to hear what their concerns are and to get their perspectives. We want to ensure that everybody is heard, that we can give folks in diverse communities throughout London a voice and a way to affect change in their city with respect to public safety.
My hope is for all Londoners to view this city as a safe community to live, work, and play, and where everyone feels welcome to be who they are, and we celebrate each other's differences.
Well, that's a wrap on this third day of IACP TV. If any of the professional development offerings sounded interesting to you, you can find all the information on the IACP website.
It's really a one-stop shop, isn't it? And find the latest episode on the in-house channel at our partner hotels. On the IACP meeting website and on all of our social media channels. So make sure you like and subscribe to get all IACP related content.
Stephen, we still have one more final day here tomorrow, and you won't want to miss this episode because we get to meet our IACP Officer of the Year.
That's always a highlight of the conference, and it'll be a highlight for us tomorrow. So until then, have a great day.